B&B spoilers. Steffy hooks little brother up with psycho Dylan? The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Dylan is setting in very quickly with the Forrester family. Not only is the homeless art teacher leaving with Electra Forrester's, Linnea Grace, man, she also scored a job as Steffy Forrester's nanny next door. Hopefully fans are wrong and Dylan isn't a serial killer because she now has keys to everyone's houses. Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, is a huge fan of Miss Dylan's. Not only is Dylan great with her son Hayes and have cheap childcare rates, she also hit and killed Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, with her car. In Steffy Forrester's eyes, Dylan can do no wrong. She seems totally unfazed by the fact that nobody knows Dylan's last name. R.J. Forrester returns. R.J. Forrester's Brian Nicoletti return to Bold and the Beautiful has been confirmed by TPB. However, the role has been recast and up-and-coming actor Brian Nicoletti has replaced Joshua Hoffman. RJ seems to have given up on finding love after his disastrous relationship with the Aiel Giordino killer. Will Steffy try to get him to hop back in the saddle? If RJ Forrester is skeptical about dating again, it's understandable considering he was sleeping with a serial killer and had no idea. But Steffy Forrester is notorious for meddling in the Forrester men's romantic lives. Was RJ better off with Luna? When Dylan starts hanging out at her house and watching the kids, Steffy could have her brother stop by and introduce them. It wouldn't be the first time Queen Steffy played matchmaker with her brothers, and she's probably worried about her brother after his last failed relationship. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers hint that Dylan could turn out to be more deadly and diabolical than R.J. Forrester's ex Luna Nozawa. Do you think Steffy will try to hook her little brother up with her nanny? Will it be a recipe for disaster? Fans of The Bold and the Beautiful are reeling tonight, and not in the fun, soapy way we're used to. This time the shock cuts deeper because it looks like Steffy Forrester, the fierce protector of her family, may have made a devastating mistake. A mistake that could cost her little brother everything. In what's shaping up to be one of the darkest storylines in recent memory, growing clues suggest Steffy may have unknowingly, or worse, recklessly, opened the door for Dylan, a deeply unstable figure, to get dangerously close to her younger brother. And if your gut is already screaming that this won't end well, you're not alone. This isn't romance. This isn't harmless matchmaking. This feels like the calm before a psychological storm. Steffy Forrester, protector or catalyst for disaster. Steffy Forrester has always worn many hats: CEO, wife, mother, daughter, and above all, protector of the Forrester name. When danger looms, Steffy usually sees it before anyone else. She's gone toe-to-toe with Sheila Carter, survived betrayals, shootings, and emotional warfare. So that's what makes this situation so heartbreaking. Because this time, Steffy didn't spot the threat. Instead, she may have invited it straight into her family. Sources close to the storyline suggest Steffy believed she was doing something kind, helping her younger brother find connection, stability, and maybe even love after months of emotional isolation. He's been lost, grieving, and desperate to feel understood. And when Dylan appeared, charming on the surface, Steffy may have seen him as a solution. But beneath that carefully curated smile lies something far more sinister. Who is Dylan? Really? At first glance, Dylan seemed like a breath of fresh air, confident, emotionally articulate, and oddly intuitive. He said all the right things. He listened. He mirrored feelings. He bonded fast. Too fast. And that's where the red flags started waving. Longtime B&B viewers know the show's warning signs. Intense emotional attachment early on. Subtle manipulation disguised as empathy. A habit of isolating their target from family. An unsettling obsession with being needed. Dylan checks every box. Whispers around Los Angeles hint at a troubled past. Broken relationships, explosive reactions, and a pattern of latching onto vulnerable people. Yet, somehow, none of this reached Steffy in time, or she chose to ignore it. Now, Dylan isn't just orbiting the Forrester family. He's embedded. A little brother on the edge. Steffi's little brother has been fragile for a while now. He's not the confident Forrester powerhouse. He's sensitive, introspective, and still finding his footing in a world that demands strength. Recent losses and family tensions have left him emotionally exposed. That's exactly when Dylan stepped in. He didn't push. He didn't rush. He positioned himself as the only one who truly understands. The one safe place. The one voice saying, "You don't need them. You have me." And heartbreakingly it worked. Scenes show the brother pulling away from Steffy, from Ridge, from even Taylor. Conversations are cut short. Trust is rerouted. Dylan becomes the center of gravity. This isn't love. It's control. Steffi's guilt will be crushing. When the truth finally comes out, and it will, Steffi's guilt may be unbearable. Imagine realizing you introduced the very person who shattered your sibling's sense of safety. Imagine watching someone you love unravel, knowing you held the door open for the villain. This is the kind of guilt Steffy doesn't shake easily. Insiders hint at devastating scenes ahead. Steffy replaying every conversation, every moment she defended Dylan, every warning she brushed aside. Her confidence will crack. Her instincts will be questioned. And for a woman who prides herself on protecting her family, this failure may haunt her more than anything Sheila ever did. The Forrester family senses something is wrong. Not everyone is blind to Dylan's darkness. Ridge has reportedly grown suspicious, noticing the way Dylan speaks for Steffi's brother instead of to him. Taylor senses emotional manipulation, recognizing patterns she's seen in her psychiatric career. Even Hope, usually cautious to interfere, feels a chill when Dylan is around. But confronting Dylan isn't easy. He's clever. He plays the victim when questioned. He turns concern into attacks. And worst of all, he convinces Steffi's brother that anyone who doubts him is the enemy. Classic isolation tactic. And the more the family pushes, the tighter Dylan's grip becomes. A tragedy waiting to happen? What makes this storyline especially sad is the overwhelming sense of inevitability. Fans can feel it. The characters can feel it. Something bad is coming. Will Dylan snap when he feels threatened? Will he sabotage the brother's career? Will emotional manipulation turn into something physical? Will someone get hurt trying to break Dylan's control? The show is clearly building toward a devastating payoff, and it won't be pretty. Some spoilers hint at a public breakdown. Others suggest a shocking revelation from Dylan's past that confirms everyone's worst fears. There's even talk of a dangerous confrontation that could leave lasting scars on the entire Forrester family. Whatever happens, this is not a storyline with a quick fix. Why this hurts so much as a viewer? What makes this plotline so painful isn't just the danger, it's the realism. Many viewers recognize this situation. A loved one falls under the influence of someone toxic. The warning signs are there, but love, guilt, and hope cloud judgment. By the time the truth becomes undeniable, the damage is already done. Will be crushing. When the truth finally comes out, and it will, Steffi's guilt may be unbearable. Imagine realizing you introduced the very person who shattered your sibling's sense of safety. Imagine watching someone you love unravel, knowing you held the door open for the villain. This is the kind of guilt Steffy doesn't shake easily. Insiders hint at devastating scenes ahead. Steffy replaying every conversation, every moment she defended Dylan, every warning she brushed aside. Her confidence will crack. Her instincts will be questioned. And for a woman who prides herself on protecting her family, this failure may haunt her more than anything Sheila ever did. The Forrester family senses something is wrong. Not everyone is blind to Dylan's darkness. Ridge has reportedly grown suspicious, noticing the way Dylan speaks for Steffi's brother instead of to him. Taylor senses emotional manipulation, recognizing patterns she's seen in her psychiatric career. Even Hope, usually cautious to interfere, feels a chill when Dylan is around. But confronting Dylan isn't easy. He's clever. He plays the victim when questioned. He turns concern into attacks. And worst of all, he convinces Steffy's brother that anyone who doubts him is the enemy. Classic isolation tactic. And the more the family pushes, the tighter Dylan's grip becomes. A tragedy waiting to happen? What makes this storyline especially sad is the overwhelming sense of inevitability. Fans can feel it. The characters can feel it. Something bad is coming. Will Dylan snap when he feels threatened? Will he sabotage the brother's career? Will emotional manipulation turn into something physical? Will someone get hurt trying to break Dylan's control? The show is clearly building toward a devastating payoff, and it won't be pretty. Some spoilers hint at a public breakdown. Others suggest a shocking revelation from Dylan's past that confirms everyone's worst fears. There's even talk of a dangerous confrontation that could leave lasting scars on the entire Forrester family. Whatever happens, this is not a storyline with a quick fix. Why this hurts so much as a viewer? What makes this plotline so painful isn't just the danger, it's the realism. Many viewers recognize this situation. A loved one falls under the influence of someone toxic. The warning signs are there, but love, guilt, and hope cloud judgment. By the time the truth becomes undeniable, the damage is already done. Watching Steffy, usually so sharp, make this mistake feels tragic because it's human. She wanted to help. She wanted to fix something that wasn't hers to fix. And now, the consequences may be irreversible. This isn't about villains twirling mustaches. It's about trust being weaponized. Is there any way back? The big question now is whether Steffy can undo what's been done. Can she reach her brother before Dylan completely takes over his life? Can the Forresters unite fast enough to expose Dylan's true nature? Or will their delay cost them something, or someone they can never get back? Redemption is possible on the bold and the beautiful, but it often comes at a devastating price. And this storyline feels like it's heading straight for heartbreak before any healing begins. Final thoughts. A very sad turn for Steffy and the Forresters. Tonight's bold and the beautiful spoilers leave fans heavy-hearted. Steffy Forrester, the family shield, may have accidentally handed her brother to a predator. Dylan isn't just a bad match, he's a psychological threat, and his influence is already rewriting family bonds. As the walls close in and the truth inches closer to the surface, one thing is clear: this isn't just another scandal. This is a tragedy in slow motion. Today's bold and the beautiful news has left fans heavy-hearted and emotional, as one painful question refuses to fade. Was RJ Forrester better off with Luna Nozoa? As the dust settles from recent heartbreak and shocking twists, viewers can't stop revisiting what might have been one of the purest, most sincere love stories the show has told in years. And now, with Luna gone, the sadness feels deeper than ever. From the very beginning, RJ and Luna felt different. Their connection wasn't born out of manipulation, power struggles, or long-buried grudges, staples of Los Angeles soap romance. Instead, it grew quietly, naturally, and honestly. RJ wasn't trying to be a Forrester prince with Luna. He was just RJ, a young man finding his voice, his talent, and his heart. Luna saw him, truly saw him, in a way few ever had. A love built on gentleness, not games. In a world where love is often a weapon, Luna was RJ's safe place. She didn't push him to choose sides in family wars. She didn't demand he live up to the Forrester legacy overnight. She encouraged his creativity, celebrated his insecurities, and believed in him when he doubted himself the most. RJ smiled differently with Luna. Fans noticed it instantly. His guarded expressions softened. His shoulders relaxed. Around her, he wasn't trapped by expectations, he was free. That's why today's news hurts so much. Because when viewers look at RJ now, isolated, emotionally bruised, and drifting, it's impossible not to compare him to the young man he was when Luna was by his side. Luna's tragic exit changed everything. Luna's death wasn't just shocking, it was devastating. It ripped a piece out of RJ that may never fully heal. She represented hope, stability, and a future untouched by the chaos of the Forrester dynasty. Losing her didn't just break his heart, it shattered his sense of direction. Since Luna's passing, RJ has seemed lost. His spark has dimmed, his confidence wavers, and worst of all, he appears to be drifting into emotional territory that feels dangerous, vulnerable to influence, pressure, and people who may not have his best interests at heart. That's why fans keep asking the same painful question. If Luna were still here, would RJ be safer? Happier? More grounded? The shadow of what if? Soap fans live for drama, but this storyline hits differently because it feels real. Many viewers see themselves in RJ, the young dreamer trying to navigate love, grief, and identity all at once. Luna wasn't just a girlfriend. She was his emotional anchor. Imagine the what-ifs RJ must carry every day. What if he had fought harder? What if fate had been kinder? What if Luna had more time? Those unanswered questions haunt him, and they haunt the audience too. Every new scene that shows RJ struggling only reinforces the tragedy of Luna's absence. Her calming presence could have steadied him. Her honesty could have guided him away from destructive choices. Her love could have reminded him who he truly is. Was Luna the love of his life? It may sound dramatic, but many fans believe Luna wasn't just a chapter in RJ's story. She was the one. Not because their relationship was perfect, but because it was sincere. Luna loved RJ without conditions. She didn't want to change him or control his future. She wanted to walk beside him. In soap opera terms, that kind of love is rare and often short-lived. Now, RJ is surrounded by louder, more complicated influences, people with agendas, people who thrive on emotional chaos. And while he may move on romantically someday, the innocence of what he shared with Luna can never be recreated. A loss that shapes a lifetime. Grief changes people, and RJ is no exception. Luna's death may define the man he becomes, either hardening him or eventually teaching him resilience. Today's bold and the beautiful news hits like a quiet storm, one that doesn't arrive with explosions or villains, but with grief, regret, and unresolved love. RJ Forrester is coming back to Los Angeles, and instead of hope or celebration, his return is wrapped in sorrow, silence, and emotional devastation. For years, RJ Forrester has been the one Forrester child who stayed away from the chaos. While Ridge, Steffy, Thomas, and the rest of the family battled endlessly over love, power, and loyalty, RJ chose distance. He chose peace, or at least he tried to. But now he's returning, and the timing could not be more heartbreaking. This is not the triumphant comeback fans once imagined. This is a return fueled by loss, guilt, and the painful realization that running away didn't stop the heartbreak, it only delayed it. A homecoming built on grief. RJ's return comes at a moment when the Forrester family is emotionally fractured beyond repair. The halls of Forrester Creations feel colder. The laughter is gone. The air is heavy with memories that refuse to fade. Whispers suggest RJ is coming back because he can't stay away anymore. Not after everything that's happened. Not after Luna. Those close to the family say RJ has been carrying an unbearable weight. The haunting question of what if? What if he had stayed? What if he had fought harder? What if he had been there when it mattered most? Sometimes the worst pain isn't what you lose, but realizing too late that you could have done something to save it. RJ's return isn't about reclaiming a legacy or stepping into a business role. It's about confronting the ghosts he left behind. The shadow of Luna still lingers. No matter how far RJ traveled, Luna remained the center of his heart. Their connection was quiet but profound, built on understanding rather than drama. Luna saw RJ for who he truly was. Not a Forrester heir, not Ridge's son, but a gentle soul who wanted something real. And now she's gone. RJ is returning to a Los Angeles that still mourns Luna's absence. Every familiar corner carries echoes of what they shared and what they never got the chance to become. Friends fear that stepping back into that world could shatter him completely. Because grief doesn't fade when you avoid it. It waits. RJ returning now means finally facing the truth. The life he imagined with Luna is gone forever. A family that feels like strangers. When RJ walks back into the Forrester orbit, he won't find comfort. He'll find tension. Ridge, already consumed by his own regrets, will see his son as a painful reminder of everything he failed to protect. His children, their relationships, their happiness. Their reunion is expected to be awkward, heavy with unspoken apologies that may never be said. Steffy, hardened by years of loss and betrayal, may struggle to understand RJ's pain. She stayed, she fought, she survived, and part of her may quietly resent that RJ escaped while others endured the damage. Thomas, haunted by his own past and desperate for redemption, may see RJ as both a symbol of innocence lost and a mirror of what he can never be again. RJ isn't just returning to a family, he's returning to a battlefield. Guilt that refuses to let go. Sources close to the storyline suggest RJ has been spiraling emotionally for months. Nightmares, sleepless nights, the crushing belief that if he had stayed in Los Angeles, things might have ended differently. This guilt is what finally pulls him home. But guilt doesn't heal wounds. It reopens them. RJ's sadness won't be loud. It will be quiet, internal, and devastating. He won't lash out. He won't scheme. He'll withdraw, carrying his grief alone, because that's who RJ has always been. And that may be what makes this chapter so tragic. A changed man returns. The RJ Forrester who left Los Angeles is not the man who's coming back. He's older, quieter, more guarded. His optimism has been dulled by loss, his kindness weighed down by heartbreak. Friends will notice it immediately. The way his smile doesn't quite reach his eyes, the way he avoids places tied to memories, the way he hesitates before speaking Luna's name. This is not a fresh start. This is a man returning to pick up the pieces of a life that fell apart without him realizing it. Can RJ ever forgive himself? The most heartbreaking question surrounding RJ's return isn't whether the family will accept him. It's whether he can accept himself. Forgiveness may be the hardest battle he faces. Every empty chair, every familiar song, every passing comment about Luna will feel like a reminder that he wasn't there when it mattered most. And no amount of love from his family can erase that belief overnight. RJ may try to honor Luna's memory. He may try to make amends. He may even attempt to build something meaningful again. But grief doesn't follow a straight path. And healing, especially for someone like RJ, takes time, and sometimes it never fully comes. A return that changes everything. RJ's presence will shift the emotional balance of the bold and the beautiful in subtle but powerful ways. His sadness will ripple outward, forcing others to confront their own regrets. Ridge will be forced to reckon with his failures as a father. Steffy may be reminded that strength doesn't always mean survival. It sometimes means vulnerability. And the entire Forrester family will have to face a painful truth. They lost more than a loved one. They lost time. They lost chances. They lost each other. RJ returning brings those losses into sharp focus. Fans brace for emotional fallout. Longtime viewers are already preparing for an emotionally heavy arc. Many see RJ as the heart of the Forrester family, the one who represented hope, softness, and emotional honesty. Watching that heart return broken is almost unbearable. Social media reactions reflect deep concern. Fans worry RJ's grief could lead him down a dark path of isolation, depression, or quiet self-destruction. Others hope his return will spark healing, not just for him, but for everyone still hurting. But one thing is clear, this storyline won't be easy to watch. A sad return, not a celebration. RJ Forrester's return should have been a moment of joy. Instead, it feels like a funeral for the future that never came to be. He's not coming back to reclaim his place. He's coming back to mourn it. Today's very sad news reminds us that sometimes the most devastating storylines aren't about villains or betrayals. They're about love that came too late and the people left behind to carry that pain. R.J. Forrester is back. Longtime viewers are already preparing for an emotionally heavy arc. Many see R.J. as the heart of the Forrester family, the one who represented hope, softness, and emotional honesty. Watching that heart return broken is almost unbearable. Social media reactions reflect deep concern. Fans worry R.J.'s grief could lead him down a dark path of isolation, depression, or quiet self-destruction. Others hope his return will spark healing, not just for him, but for everyone still hurting. But one thing is clear, this storyline won't be easy to watch. A sad return, not a celebration. R.J. Forrester's return should have been a moment of joy. Instead, it feels like a funeral for the future that never came to be. He's not coming back to reclaim his place. He's coming back to mourn it. Today's very sad news reminds us that sometimes the most devastating storylines aren't about villains or betrayals. They're about love that came too late and the people left behind to carry that pain. R.J. Forrester is back.